My name is Susanne Böhler, and I'm working for Ruprecht Consult, which is a small firm and a small company in Germany, located in Cologne. And we are coordinating mainly European project and mainly in the field of mobility, of urban mobility, and we are the leading author of the ECOMM guidelines, which have been released in December 2013. And the guidelines, they show how ECOMM, so the urban transport planning, should be carried out in a quite innovative way and in accordance to EU thinking, I would say, and it defines the whole concept of ECOMM. And one core element of ECOMM is that stakeholders and also citizens should be integrated into the transport planning process. And what we see is that there are a lot of challenges in this context which occur when a city decides to set up an ECOMM, so a long-term vision for the city, and to decide we would like to ask people what they think and what they want and what they think how the city should look like. And what we see is that this can lead to quite complex participation processes, but there have been good examples in Europe. So what we see is that there are a lot of mandatory that a lot of cities do something in public participation, even if they inform the public, for example, or they have to follow certain rules. So there are mandatory rules they have to follow, but there are also several cities who say, okay, we have to go beyond our the mandatory laws or rules, and we have to find new innovative tools to integrate, to talk with stakeholders and to talk with citizens. And one very good example is the city of Ghent. They have a long tradition and with public participation, and what you can see there, that they started on a small scale and they learn more and more step by step, and not the administration learns, but also the citizens. According to stakeholder involvement, we are working together in the challenge project with the city of Dresden. They have carried out in the last year a very complex ECOMM process, and they also had a very intensive consultation process with all relevant stakeholders in their cities. And what we see is that there has to be quite a political will to carry out those kind of participation processes, and that there are, in Dresden, for example, the committee was led by the mayor, for example. So you need somebody who really who has the will to carry out such complex and also maybe costly processes. But in the end, you have there's no guarantee that you have an accepted planning, but the chances that you have a high level of acceptance is much better than to have a non-participation. And a lot of examples where transport planning measures have been the target of very controversial debates show that non-participation is not an option any longer.